Welcome to our channel. In today's video we are going to share with you a terrifying story about a guy who lived alone but he found out that he is not. Turn off the lights, get your headphones, and let's enjoy this creepy story. Let's go! I live in a one-bedroom apartment by myself. So, can anyone explain why a woman was sitting on my couch watching TV? I was working in my room when I got hungry and decided to go to the kitchen to grab some leftover Chinese food. My kitchen is next to my living room, and as soon as I went into the dark hall, I realized the TV was on. I was aware that I had never stopped to watch anything on it, so this was an instant red flag. I walked over to turn it off, thinking it was updating or that Alexa had accidentally turned it on. My heart dropped as I saw a woman with oily black hair sitting on my couch, watching it. I was confused for a second because I knew there was no one here when I walked in and that all the doors and windows were closed. I hadn't heard anyone break in since I got home, so how could a person be sitting there? After the confusion faded, I wanted to contact her and ask what she was doing in my house, but something told me that would be a horrible idea. That's how it felt if anyone has ever experienced sleep paralysis. I pushed my body to move, but my primitive brain refused. I managed to sneak back into my room and simply waited in silence. I know you're already shouting at me to call the cops, and believe me, I wanted to. Nothing would have made me feel better at the time than having one or two armed police officers around to deal with her. But if I'm being completely honest, I didn't want her to hear what I was saying. If she had entered my room, I would have been stuck, which felt like a nightmare at that moment. After a half hour of silence, I got the confidence to at least observe and see what she was up to. I forced myself open the door just enough to have a clear view of the hallway and see where she was sitting. If I hadn't known any better, I'd have assumed she'd simply walked into the wrong house and was relaxing like any other normal person. But something wasn't quite right. She appeared to be leaned forward on the couch. Part of me wanted to think she was asleep, but what happened next killed all hope. She moved a disgustingly long arm towards the door and easily unlocked it from her sitting position. I haven't measured yet, but judging from the distance between my couch and the door, on the low end, it had to be at least 8 or 9 feet away. She stood up slowly and made a poor attempt to walk towards it. Her body, horrifying. She was really tall. It's way too close. I'd suppose she was around 9 feet tall, with arms that reached the ground and dragged behind her. Her hands each had around 11 fingers that had to be about a foot long. I remember her being absolutely nude, with saggy skin hanging loosely off her very skinny body. She was much paler than I had imagined. Her skin was almost gray. If I didn't know any better, I'd believe her skin belonged to someone who had recently died. She didn't move with elegance. She dragged her enormous body to the door, raising her long arm to the doorknob and pulling it open. It appeared as though she had to break her own bones to finish the movement. She came to a stop when she opened the door and moved a spindly leg outside. As she slowly turned her head towards me and I saw a glimpse of her face, my blood ran cold. When I didn't see any eyes, I wanted to scream. Only a bloated exterior with sagging eye holes and a mouth with long rubbery lips that drooped below her shoulders in misery. I wasn't sure if she noticed me or if she had the ability to. All I remember is her turning back outside and leaving my house. She slammed the door behind her, leaving me in stillness, my heart beating faster than it had ever done. I ran outside with my phone to see if I could get her on video, and now I'm sorry I did. I wish I could have just shut the door and gone to sleep, or gotten drunk and pretended it was all a bad dream. But what I saw, I know it was real. I looked out into the freezing darkness and saw her hanging off the side of the building like a fucking spider. The person's window above me was open. She was searching in, and after a few seconds, she pulled out their son. By the time she crawled out into the darkness with the small kid, her hand was totally wrapped over the head, and I couldn't tell if he was alive or dead. I'd recorded everything. I had to view that video 100 times before I deleted it. What on earth was I expected to do with it? Do you think the cops would believe it's real evidence? Even if they did, what could they possibly do? And, as a parent, would you rather believe that your child ran away or that it was kidnapped by an entity we can't even begin to comprehend? At least with the former, you have the possibility of seeing them again. I just couldn't bring myself to bring such a silly idea up in front of a grieving family. Or even worse, get them to believe me and go in search of something that no one should ever want to find. I knew I'd be tempted to watch it as long as I kept it. Every time I watched it, I was pushed farther insane. Recently, there have been increasing reports of children going missing. There have even been reports of pets going missing from people's houses. Surprisingly, I heard a story about a full-grown man being missing. He was never seen again, and no one knows where he went or why he left. The only evidence of an outside force was an open window and a few strands of hair that cops couldn't match to any DNA. This has had a significant impact on my life. I tried to gather information on this thing, but as far as I know, there is none. If anyone else has experienced a similar experience, please let me know. Please share your stories or pictures of the thing if you have them. I just want to know that I'm not insane. I'm quitting my work tomorrow and moving to the other side of the country to live with my brother. There's no way I'm staying around that creature any longer than necessary. I don't plan to stay much longer, but I heard a knock at my door last night. I know I won't be telling a story the next time I see it. But I also know that I'm burning this entire apartment with me. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy the video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. We would love to know your view about the story in the comments. Also, if you have stories you want to share with us or any suggestions, please let us know. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching again. See you in the next one.